Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our Zoom family. Welcome to our sacred sanctuary. And welcome to all of you who are with us this morning on Facebook Live, whether that be in real time or watching us later. And I cannot remember the last time that Sunday was on the 4th of July. It's just amazing and it's kind of exciting. A few weeks ago, I was thinking, Sunday, the 4th is on Sunday? Oh, I don't know about that. But I'm very excited about it. And part of that is that we have the wonderful Daniel Nahmod with us this morning. And I know that the music and his song is going to enhance the totality of our experience today. And also, assist in really giving us an opportunity to tap in to our own individual celebration of Independence Day. And so, welcome everyone to the Center for Spiritual Living Paradise. And I'm Reverend Christine Jeffers, and I'm the minister of for this beloved community. And I have a new hairdo that I'm sharing with you, and it will be an evolving, changing experience. And so there you go. um, let's see. Have a couple of announcements for you, or really just one mainly regarding our beloved Julie Cook, who made her transition and passed very, very peacefully in her sleep on Monday evening, June the 21st. And a couple of you have told me that you weren't sure who she is now. When Julie was coming on Zoom, she had short hair rather than the long hair. But this is one picture of Julie Cook and her husband Jay Cook, who we have been in our prayers surrounding him in light and love and wisdom and peace and grounding. And there's another without sunglasses. And one of the places that they love to be the most, Hawaii. And these pictures are not that old. So both Molly and I had an opportunity to talk with Jay yesterday, and it was wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful to connect with him and to get updated. He may be watching us on Facebook Live, and he was back in Magalia since last Wednesday night, but he's going to be going back and forth between Magalia and Cave Junction, where their son Justin, daughter-in-law Samantha, and the wonderful alive children are. Hendrix and Molly, what is his name?
We call him Gus. His name is August.
Okay, yeah. And so Jay's going to be able to make a home in both places. There will be some information coming in the future, but about a service, and in Julie and Jay style, it will definitely be. So don't know when that will be, but when we know, you'll be the first to know. So I just wanted to let you know. And we're just, I don't know, maybe feeling a little bit more grounded with this change. and the sadness, that the feeling of loss that comes up from time to time is all a part of the process. So for any of you that may be going through that, maybe we'll set a time that we could come together on Zoom and just share some memories and pray together, to just know the truth that the very essence of her being. And let's join together in an opening prayer treatment this morning, right now. To know that the life of spirit, the life of this infinite wholeness and divine being, the one creative power and presence and life force that is in and through and as all creation, is at the center of the totality of livingness. And it is also individualized in each and every one of its creations. That includes Julie and Jay. It includes each one of us. And so we know that first and foremost, we have our livingness in the spirit of this infinite life that expresses as unconditional love, that it is closer than our very breath. This divine love is at the center of our heart. It radiates out through our entire being and the beingness of all creations of this planet Earth, within which we have our home and we are so connected and one with, and the entire cosmos of life. And what we know that is that as creation creates, it continues to evolve and change and take on new forms. And yet its divine essence is whole and complete. It is solid. It is perfect. And I know that this is the spirit of Julie and each one of us. And so we open to this divine love and infinite intelligence that is moving through us. We allow it to guide us and direct us. We surrender to it. We open our hearts and allow our minds to be inspired with its love and its goodness and its wholeness. And we allow all of that to infiltrate our body, our spirit, our soul, our mind, and to know that we are one with life itself. And in this truth, there is great comfort and serenity. There is strength and wisdom and power. And we claim this. We claim it as our divine heritage, and we use it consciously with love and wisdom and peace as we go forth to create our lives. And so I give thanks that all is well. All is well for our service this morning, and all of us that are gathering together from so many different locations to be in spiritual community, to be loved, to be nurtured, and to have our hearts open to a greater truth that is the truth, the greater truth of the Spirit of God. That is what we are. And so we release this, we let it be so, and together we affirm, and so
it is.
And I turn it over to Rod for song.
I invite you to join me in knowing this truth. In this very truth, this room there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. There's quite enough faith and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, sweet spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough faith and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, sweet spirit, is in this very room. And in this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough faith and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, God's spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, beloved Julie, this very room.
That was beautiful, Rod.
Thank you.
Yes. We enjoyed that so much. Well, let's all just take a deep breath and welcome our musical guest this morning, Daniel Namad. That's funny, Daniel.
That's funny.
Daniel congratulated me earlier for pronouncing his name correctly. And then right there, I go, my God, all tongue-tied, Daniel.
That would have been a good moment to butcher my name, actually, just for irony's sake. Nice, nice to see you.
Well, I'm just going to turn everything over to you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everybody. Happy July 4th. I am my instruction here is to sing something leading into meditation, and I actually I think I'm going to do a medley that wouldn't make any sense on any other day. But if you'll indulge me, I wanted to sing a little bit of my favorite patriotic song for America, and the reason why it's my favorite song about America is its place in my family story is that I am a second generation American On my dad's side, he was born in America. My mom was actually not. She was a refugee in World War II. My dad's mom was the youngest of 13 kids who emigrated to the United States. All 13 of them, penniless essentially, from Poland at the turn of the 20th century. And she lived to the ripe old age of 95. My bubby was the youngest of 13 and lived 30 or 40 years longer than some of her siblings did. And whenever I would visit her in Chicago as she grew older, especially in the nursing home where she spent about the last 10 years of her life, Danny would show up and do a concert. It was always a big deal when her grandson Danny was coming into town, because they would wheel out a grand piano and wheel out all the nice old people and line them up in the community room, and I would sing a little concert for them. And most of these concerts were American classic songs, Johnny Mercer and Rodgers and Hart and the Gershwins and so on. For my bubby, the only American music she wanted to hear was Fiddler on the Roof, which I could never stand, but I always sang it in her honor, and she was always up for a laugh and not a serious person. So I would always say, Bubby, I can't stand these maudlin, old-fashioned Broadway songs, but I'm going to sing them for you, and then I'm going to put them away until I come back into town. And the only other song that she ever wanted to hear was a song by a fellow immigrant, a man who emigrated to the United States to escape with his parents, to escape anti-Semitic persecution in Russia. And he became one of the world's most successful and beloved songwriters. And even in his fame, enlisted in the army to entertain American soldiers around the world during World War I, and wrote a love song to the country that had saved his family's life. And it was a song that my bubby never grew tired of. She lost the ability to stand in those last few years. She was in a wheelchair. But if she could have stood, she would. And always sang along, and it was the song she always wanted to hear before her grandson Danny closed every concert for her in those last years. America saved my own family's life in more ways than one. So it's a song that I love to sing in honor of every immigrant, every refugee, in honor of the Statue of Liberty that my mom still remembers seeing as a little girl as she crossed the ocean, escaping the Holocaust with her parents, and that my bubby loved so much. So a song in honor of this beautiful and amazing, deeply flawed but spectacular country that we all have the good graces to live in. And I'll transition into something that I think will be far more appropriate for the meditation. Thank you for indulging me. Apologize for the introduction that will be longer than the song.
Lovely, Daniel.
These are unfortunately the ABCs of me, but here we go. So it's a song by Irving Berlin. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Want to sing with me? God bless America, land that I love, land that I love. Stand beside her stand beside her and guide her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Sing that with me. I will leave this day. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Once more. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. One more verse. I will leave this life as it is. Here we go. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
Let us allow those words and that music to settle into our being like rain on the parched earth. And we'll take a few moments to go inside and find our God, to reflect on the underlying peace and freedom that is the foundation of our true self. Because you are the peace behind all the mental noise and confusion. And your essence is with the true God in that silent, peaceful, unagitated heart of being. You do not need to seek peace in the future because it is already deeply at rest in the very present moment, as you. And this peace does not mean that there's no noise or confusion or trouble or pain or loss, but rather it means to be in the midst of all of those things and still be calm at your heart, to still feel the God that is you. So let us practice briefly together, softening our bodies and filling ourselves with the pure healing energy of the universe. opening our hearts to the freedom of our genuine self that knows no separation from peace. So allow those eyes to close and feel the weight of your body resting on the planet. Feel the energetic aliveness and support of the earth beneath you as you drop into your beingness. And just be aware of the sensations of breath in your body. With each breath, slowly feeling the body relax and your mind to begin to calm. And the words and the emotions of the songs and the gathering begin to settle. And just center yourself on receiving the breath with gratitude. Feeling the deep peace and relaxation riding on the waves of your inhalation and your exhalation. And just notice the sensations in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. Noticing their ever-changing nature. Just the ebb and flow of sensation as it is in this moment. Accepting it all without judgment. Just allow the river of feelings and thoughts to flow through you, being kind and gentle to whatever arises, without pushing anything away, without embellishing anything. And just be aware that with each breath you are breathing in unison with all living things. Each breath encouraging loving awareness to grow and to flow back into the very field of infinite spirit from which it came. And begin to feel a sense of peace as you ride those waves of changing conditions, knowing that underneath them all is a well of peace. It is said that enlightenment is the moment that you recognize that you are the peace. When you awaken from the illusion of your separateness so that you can know your true nature as free to choose love and peace in each moment. Know that you are the observer of all your experience when you untangle yourself from commenting on what is arising. For in the midst of all the movement of life, there is this peace, this stillness, this oneness. And our deepest inner peace comes when we're present in this moment while accepting all that is as it is. Peace is present in every person and every experience. The spirit of peace and order and understanding is at work in every situation. Freedom and peace are established in your life. All you need is to allow. Breathing in peace. Exhaling peace. And may we continue to celebrate this day knowing that peace is more than a dream when we recognize that we have the freedom to choose in each moment, to choose love, to choose peace for ourselves and for our world. And so it is.
And so it is.
I have made a decision about my life. It may be a strange surprise to some. I have always thought I wanted what so many want, but it's to a different conclusion that I've come. I see water rushing through an ancient riverbed. I see snowfall floating high up on a hill. I see an eagle soaring to the red horizon. And I know that's how I am meant to live. Oh, I need to be free. I will go where the wind will carry me. To be free, oh, to be free. You won't see me playing any kind of lottery. You won't catch me wishing on a shooting star. You will find me wherever I am called to be, wherever kindness and beauty are. For I think of all mankind as my family. This entire precious planet is my home. So let others build their borders, walls, and boundaries. I will fly above them all, even if I must fly alone. Oh, I need to be free. I will go where the wind will carry me. To be free, oh, to be free. When I hear a child singing, when I see a dolphin swimming, when I watch a dancer moving like the wind, it's a calling, it's a vision, it's a voice, and I must listen. So today, this very day, I'm stepping in. Oh, I need to be free. I will go where the wind will
to be free. Oh, to be free.
Bravo, Daniel. Bravo.
Yes. Amen. Daniel, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Lynn. Thanks for the wonderful music, Daniel, says Lynn Costa. Yes. Wow. Daniel, what CD is that song from? Or is
That's
it?
that is from an album of mine called Water. Actually,
Oh, from Water.
from When I Hear the Music that I sang for you last time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love that CD. It's just as far as my own listening, it's one of my favorite. And yeah, I recommend it to everybody. I know you can buy it online.
Yes.
Yes. So one of the things that the lyrics of your song brings to mind, when you sang about seeing it
Yes.
in different art forms.
Yeah.
And this was something in terms of creative expression and our freedom, and not just our freedom, but like you said, a need. I need to be free. And each one of us have been created with these unique gifts that are ours, that must be expressed. And from the book of Thomas that did not make it into the Bible, Thomas talks about that which is our gift. These are my words paraphrasing, that which is our higher self, to not be acknowledged and expressed can be the death of us. Because we need, that is our sense of freedom. And that we see the universal nature of God and creation through the dancer, through the poet, through the musician, through all kinds of art forms, through verbal talks, through meditations, even through our own individual and unique prayer. That is really a prayer to the part of us that must be free and desires to be free, to encourage that freedom to come out and express itself. And it is scary. I talked about that a little bit last week. So today, we are beginning a new month. And for, the global 2021 theme and idea that we are working with in Centers for Spiritual Living is timeless wisdom, evolutionary vision. Timeless wisdom, as we accept and embody that wisdom within us, will always show up in our lives if we claim it, to the degree that we accept that it's already there. And as we express it, it will always show up in the right and perfect time for any and all situations that we're dealing with. Because as in heaven, so below. As in heaven, so on earth. that which has been planted in the hearts of all individuals, a greater ideal, is the vision of livingness that pulls us forward. And so my question, my pondering for myself, and that I share with you is, we hold these truths, ... What truths are you holding? What truths, what greater truths? And Rod, I heard your song. You were so embodying the idea of truth, that you said in this very room is truth. Perfect. What truths are you standing on? What truths are your foundation that you are grounded and rooted in? What truths that when you close your eyes and turn within, what truths are there to bring you calm and peace and an inner knowing that all is well in the midst of the chaos of life? So when we are pulled by those truths, which is a vision, a higher calling, a greater idea and ideal, it leads us to collectively and individually look into what truths are guiding and directing my life. Not my opinions, not really the truths that will color my viewpoints, that will allow me, as Daniel was singing about, to rise up and to see the greater picture. As we do literally when we climb up to the top of the mountain, we see things that we didn't see when we were down. And remember that part of the talk when Reverend David Alt was with us, and he talked about the idea of that we can't see the forest, the whole forest, for the individual trees that are blocking our view. So that's such a wonderful idea for us to take into our own lives, whatever it is that we're dealing with, to take that idea into our lives and to know that we have the ability, that freedom is a divine idea that has been incarnated within us, and that all we have to do is close our eyes and turn within and find that place of vision, of a greater idea in whatever it is that we're dealing with. And then when we open that idea, we allow that vision to pull us forward into our lives. Now, the dictionary defines vision as a vivid mental image that represents your values and your ideals that are of the utmost importance to you. So that's the first part, asking ourselves that question. The second part is beginning to cultivate that vision, because the definition goes on to say, a vision inspires you to live according to a higher calling. And within that vision is that clear image within your mind's eye. And that ignites the imagination, which in turn activates the emotions, the feelings, and the emotion that drive our actions. So it's interesting to me that this dictionary definition is actually a definition of the creative process. That the vision creates a mental image of and whatever it is that we're dealing with, that we can close our eyes and ask ourselves, what's my highest vision about this activity? I bet, Daniel, I bet you use that when you write a song. I bet you do that. I bet I can just see you sitting there in your studio, closing your eyes. Rod, I can see you doing it. I do it in preparation for my message. What is that greater vision, that higher ideal that lives within me? And taking time, like letting the seed plant and germinate for the image, the vivid mental image that represents why this is important to me. And letting my imagination receive a clear image, which in turn activates my emotion and drives my action. Because without that, we get an idea of something that we want to have or do and create. And if that idea is not grounded in a clear, vivid mental image of why this is important, then when my own doubts and when my own beliefs that, well, who am I to carry forth this vision? Who am I? You are the one who has been called. 240 years ago, a group of people were called to a greater vision, to one of freedom from oppression, to come out from underneath the heavy hands of the king, and to be free. The Declaration of Independence is a clear vision, a clear, vivid mental image. As it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people, because men at that time was a generic word for all people, are created equal, that all are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are these of the, well, I butchered that. Well, among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And of course, we know that it goes on to say that a part of that pursuit of happiness is your individual right to seek the religion and spiritual practices of your choice, the way that God expresses through you. And I know that the infinite creator of life, he has the same ideal. Because the freedom that we have been created in, to suppose, Dr. Holmes wrote, that the creative intelligence of the universe would create humankind in bondage and to leave us bound would be to dishonor that creative power which we call God. And yet, freedom, as you sang in your song, Daniel, or mentioned, comes with responsibility. Being responsible to our capability. Well, in terms of what we're capable of from our human nature, we may say, well, not much. But when we close our eyes and we tap into a vision, and we find what we are passionate about and what is important to us, we begin to get an idea. So visioning, the practice of visioning is a spiritual practice that invites us to tap into divine wisdom for guidance. It's a meditative type, literally, it's a meditative type of experience with a series of questions to ponder. And so when we go through this process, well, actually, let me back up. Recently, you may have noticed that for several weeks, I was advertising, come and join, come together, and let's join together and let's take three different Mondays and let's vision as a center for spiritual living. Let's vision for what successful fundraising is. So recently, there was a wonderful group that gathered with me to go into a guided experience of visioning for the purpose of catching the greater idea of fundraising. And this meant that rather than getting a group of people together to decide on an activity in order to raise money and then getting volunteers who maybe weren't all that enthusiastic or enthralled with the idea to do the work, visioning asks us to first ask ourselves and to tap into what is the higher idea for our center when it comes to fundraising. So we're catching a vision. We're open to Spirit's higher idea being expressed through us. And we're open to what does it look like, feel like, sound like? What are the images? What are the feelings that are coming to me? And open to the bigger picture, which when we, as climbing to the top of the mountain, we may not understand exactly what it means in the beginning. But as we keep visioning, it becomes more clear. So let me share my screen, and I want to share with you some of the ideas that this group came up with. Let's see her. Okay. Can you, nope, here's the one I want. Can you see my screen? Nod so I can know. Okay, great, thank you. All right, and Larry, where is that button that
what?
That makes it full screen? I think it's hiding behind the Zoom.
I don't know on a PC, unfortunately.
You told me where it was last time.
Well, that was a delete button.
Okay, here we go, present.
There you go.
Now,
Perfect.
I gotta move all of us over to the side. So 1, 2, and 3 represents the 3 weeks that we spent together. And I gotta tell you that after I took us all through the visioning process and we went around and each person had an opportunity to share what the answer to these questions. And some of the things that came up in regard to visioning for successful fundraising in the very beginning was no, I don't want to do it. No, don't. Yeah, understand the need for fundraising, but been there, done that. Maybe had some not so great experiences. And those got to be expressed. But then as everybody went on and shared, the first week, these were the ideas that came forward. And the ones that have stars by them are words that came up for multiple people. Connection. Visioning for successful fundraising meant a sense of connection, feelings of belonging. Successful activities that are fundraising felt supportive. Starred again, multiple people, joy. There was an image of blue and green. And then people were talking about what they envisioned were outdoor activities. They felt happy with their eyes closed. It was a sense of airiness and being with people, belonging, creative voices, and fun was mentioned more than once. Now, in the sharing, there was nothing specific yet about what the activity was. So we came back the following week too, and one person in the visioning started getting ideas about outdoor retreat, food, nurturing. Outdoors again came up for numerous people. Hearing the birds, song, reawakening the wild. I love that. That could be reawakening, to the wildness of the environment around us, or reawakening to our inner wild, creative, expressive self. Less noise. Reaching out to one another to nurture. Again, connection. Healing trauma. Visions of instructing, encouraging, feelings full of optimism, joyful, numerous, joyful, loving, welcoming to everybody that comes, and welcoming to the self, welcoming ourselves to come forward and experience all these things. And then in week 3, community healing came up. Still connection, nurturing, being together, a sense of how good it feels to collaborate, fun, and getting to know those that we don't know now because we have been online and because we're from all over the place. So the next step of our visioning process will be to gather again, to do another visioning, and then to start talking more specifically, to look at the connection between the 3 weeks and to see what inspires, what feels good, what would be nurturing, what would be a sense of community and joyful, what would help to bring us back out into the world. Now, as I closed my eyes and I thought about these things, as I thought about Sunday service, connection, joy, getting to know one another, instruction, feeling nurtured and supported, those ideas are happening in our Sunday service. Those ideas are happening every time a group comes together for a class. Those ideas are happening and those ideals are happening every single time we come together for a board meeting. There's a sense of connection. There's a joy in being together. The sharing that we do nurtures one another. And I thought about all the things that would come both online and in person into the future. And I realized that every single activity, this vision, successful fundraising, is not just in an individual activity to raise funds over and above the funds that are given on a regular basis. that this is the vision for every single activity that the Center for Spiritual Living does. And so while we may miss the mark at some times, we have this vision is really something that we can ground back into. And we can say, we hold these truths. These are the truths that inspire us as a Center for Spiritual Living. These are the truths that we want to share with people, whether they come to us online or whether they walk in the door. These are the truths that we want our volunteers and people that give service, and even right down to our financial monetary giving, that our giving is a recognition that these are gifts that we receive by our spiritual community, and that we give not only for this to continue for each one of us, but for those who have not yet come, and to learn this teaching that freedom lives at the center of every single individual soul. And so I close just sharing with you a few of the principles on which our organization, Center for Spiritual Living, and the teaching of the science of mind stands. And I invite you to take this in beyond your intellect, maybe to close your eyes and to hear this as a prayer, as your prayer. It's your prayer too. And this is our vision that we aspire to. While we may fall short, we practice this teaching and we ground back into the vision. And we stand up and we remember what are the truths that we hold to. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe that this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but it is not absorbed by its creation. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding in this life and beyond. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation, a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is to be attained by all. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life right now. That life is whole. It is free. It is wisdom, joy, abundance, and love. It is expressing itself and awaiting a fuller, larger avenue of expression from within each one of us. We are called to recognize that we are much more able than we realize ourselves to be. And that as we tap into our individual living, our individual vision for living, our vision for Center for Spiritual Living Paradise, that we truly are guided and directed, blessed and prospered in our connection with one another, in the joy that we receive from being with one another, in the inspiration and the peace and the healing that takes place in all manner of activity. What a wonderful way to celebrate Independence Day and to really look into the greater ideals of our country and to realize that we are able to look at the Declaration of Independence, aspects of the Constitution, and to know that that Statue of Liberty, the ideal on which it stands, is alive and well within each of us and within this country, and that we shall persevere. And so it is. So Daniel is going, first we'll do our donation slide. Sorry, I had to come back to present moment there for a minute. Reverend Larry, thank you so much.
And now it's time for our offertory. So you can bring into consciousness or actually hold in your hand. I have my phone in my hand. I give through Givelify to bless our gifts, our time, our talent, our treasure, however it shows up. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I have, and all that I receive. And together we can affirm 3 times, I give joyfully with a consciousness of abundance. I give joyfully with a consciousness of abundance. I give joyfully with a consciousness of abundance. And so it is.
Daniel, take it away.
Okay, I shall take it away. Hopefully not literally. Thank you for having me. Happy 4th, and an ongoing invitation to join me. I do a obviously free concert every Monday night. Have done for almost a year now, at 6 p.m. here in California. So on my Facebook page, which is Daniel Nahmod USA. So join me at 6 actually. And if you can't, everything I've done, it's about approaching a couple hundred free shows now of all kinds. If you feel like perusing just for fun, just go to Daniel Nahmod USA and click on videos and just enjoy. They're my treat, my gift. And thank you all. Christina has a beautiful talk. Although I did think it was kind of ironic after talking about all the fundraising that you then almost skipped the writing slide. I did enjoy that. Something unconscious happening there. I'll leave that for you to interpret. Anyway, so here we go. And I know how that feels. I'm a 25 years. I'm an entrepreneur, and I live in Orange County. I have a mortgage. I have a child. I have bills. But I also, and this is true, about like when I say the Facebook shows are free. I didn't used to give away concerts for free by the hundreds. But Christine, it's always, for me, it's always a push and pull about, I actually mostly intend for the music to make a positive difference. Along the way, I have to support my family, and they don't usually compete, the two intentions or needs. But every so often I choose one over the other, and it is an ongoing internal debate, difference between raising money and just serving. Anyway, so that being said, thank you again. Here we go. Peace song. I do not know how you have changed the lyrics, so I'm just going to go ahead and sing it.
Great.
Here we go.
And we're on mute, so we can sing along.
Yeah, make up all the words you want. That's what I do for a living, and it's actually a pretty fun job. Here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this